is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. Coming up, Mark Moreno, CBS expert, says extreme cold caused by excess heat. By the way, here's the Climate Depot article that I want posted in full on Infowars.com, guys. CBS features futurist who promotes paranormal phenomenon of telepathy, telekinesis, and mind reading as a climate expert, blaming record cold on global warming. So he's going to be joining us, and the lead singer of Korn is going to be on as well. Right now, let's go to your phone calls as promised. Darren in Tejas, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
I'm calling about the Steve Stockman campaign. We've got to defeat Korn. Korn funded Obamacare. He also voted this week, along with the traitor Mitch McConnell, to give unlimited spending to Obama for the next year through 2015, raising the debt ceiling.
We have to defeat who?
We need to defeat John Cornyn.
Oh, you're talking about Senator Cornyn, yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Senator Cornyn, basically. He needs to be defeated here in the March 4th primary, Republican primary.
He has these ads going, he goes, I have guns, you have guns. We like guns. Vote for me. No, he's definitely a rhino. And who would you like to see in there other than John Cornyn?
Steve Stockman. Steve Stockman currently is a congressman from Texas.
No, I know. He's a great guy, and he gets the full endorsement of a lot of groups I like Gun Owners of America.
He has never voted to raise the debt ceiling.
By the way, they've now voted to make it basically unlimited until March 2015. But, you know, oh, wait a minute. Obama said Obama says raising the debt doesn't raise the debt. Now, are you racist, sir?
I guess I must be.
Yeah, you don't laugh at our Lord and Savior. And again, I'm not blasphemous, but that's what Jamie Foxx calls him. So I appreciate your call. Yeah, we got to get rid of John Cornyn, get rid of all the Republican neocons that are saying, be nice, Tea Party, be nice, libertarians, while they try to raise record money with the Democrats to beat the Tea Party. Let's go to Bill in Wisconsin. You're on the air, first-time caller. Welcome.
How you doing, Alex?
Doing all right, brother.
Okay. What I'm concerned about, I was on the LaRouche PAC activist conference call last night. Yesterday, Congress passed 362-2 with some votes, not being coming forward. But Walter Jones was one of the two. I think there was another Republican from Kentucky that voted against this. Now, what this was a resolution in support of the George Soros bunch of protesters that are attempting to attack the Ukraine.
No, exactly. And it's not like we're saying side with Russia, but the EU wants to suck Ukraine dry and move weapons in to start a fight with Russia, and that's immoral. And yes, I know they had that resolution in Congress. That's disgusting.
Yeah, this is a declaration of war, essentially, against Russia. And the LaRouche people are working for the impeachment of Obama because...
Well, yeah, when am I getting LaRouche or his wife on? Because they wanted to come on. They're on next week.
Get them on. Get them on, for Pete's sakes. We are on the cusp of nuclear war.
I know.
Okay.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned returned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. But they are openly persecuting the Tea Party big time. Any conservative or libertarian group, pro-life groups, you name it, they're all being persecuted by the, I don't know, criminal justice department, caught committing so many crimes openly, it makes my head spin. We're going back to your calls with Bill and Art and Terry and Lee and Mike and so many others, 800-259-9231, first-time callers. We're taking your calls here today, now into the second hour. This is some of the news breaking up on Infowars.com right now. U.S. Army builds fake city in Virginia to practice military occupation. Martial law training. 300-acre town includes sports stadium, school, underground subway. Well, Paul asked that question. It's all over the news. The U.S. Army admits their main threat is Tea Party insurgents, and he links to the West Point training manuals in the Infowars.com article. And, of course, the National Guard training, DrudgeReport.com carried it this week. It was all over the news. Training to, quote, take on the Tea Party when they use bioweapons to attack because they're pro-Second Amendment supporters. So you're like, yeah, but that doesn't have any basis in reality. It's called a demonization campaign ahead of political open persecution. They're already using the IRS and everything on people. I mean, we're in trouble. A lot of folks are like, well, I better go hoist an Obama flag. When they've gotten rid of their opposition, they're going to go after everybody, including their moron idiot supporters. That's the way this works. They hate their moron supporters even more than they hate those of us that oppose them. People better study history. Those of you think you're on some winning team serving this. Amazing. I want to send reporters to cover that. That's interesting. Oregon police give nightclubs ID scanners to determine customers' identities and age. I love how I've seen this for 15 years or more, where they'll card an old woman buying pipe tobacco for her husband or a six-pack of beer at the drugstore. And I always go, why are you doing that? Well, we have to swipe it. State police like it when we do that. Or the Texas Department of TBI, what's it called? What's the alcohol department called? TABC, yeah. So it's like, well, we just better swipe everybody, because first it was if you look under 21, we card you. Then it's if you look under 30, we card you. Now it's like old man on a walker, we're going to card you. And then now you go in to get stuff at the drugstore over the counter. Oh, we're going to swipe your card. Oh, it goes in a database. And then it's all shared under Obamacare. All given to everybody. Why did we ever have privacy to begin with? By the way, Sean Parker is in the news. I met Sean Parker. Billionaire Sean Parker hates the world he helped create. I'm going to read that article. It just came up on Forbes. I got it up on Infowars.com. I'm going to see exactly what he's talking about. That is a guy jumping up and down, running around wild. I got to read this. Guys, print that for me, please. Thank you. So we're going to be talking about that. But my point is that you go now to a bar anywhere. Oh, let me just swipe your card to get in here. That's to create metadata on everywhere you go. It's not enough that they're tracking your cell phone in real time, marking where you went. It's not enough they're watching you over cameras and watching you over your own home computer. That's all admitted now. It's all completely illegal. Now they're just putting these systems in everywhere to politically dominate. And, oh, you know, they've got legislation introduced to have kill switches, which are already in the phones, by the way, but have the power to turn everybody's cell phone off in a city, a state, you name it, so they can't communicate while the technocracy takes over. Or while the elite get their money out of the banks. This is a totally one-sided, no checks and balance, nightmare system that's being built right now. So there's that story. Police blame bar owners for not knowing law after getting caught pushing them into surveillance program. Police in, how do you say that, Multnomah County quietly suspended a new data mining program this week after a local newspaper began questioning its legality. The last several weeks, police have issued ID scanning devices to clubs and bars all throughout Portland's Old Town neighborhood. The scanners not only captured customers' personal data, including names and photos, but uploaded all the information to police database. And when the cops got caught, they went, oh, it's an accident. It's just meant to check and make sure you're of age. That's total bull. After receiving a 3-year alcohol abuse reduction grant, they found out how much you're drinking and give it to the insurance companies. They were awarded $60,000 to obtain the police-run scanners for multiple drinking establishments. Then, of course, they force everybody to do it. Despite Oregon law placing strict limits on storing and sharing information from ID scanners, specifically police were persistent in getting local bars to comply with the program. Yeah, right. I love it. Gotta love it, man. That's because the cops are compartmentalized, too. A lot of the cops actually don't like this, so they're like trying to enforce that it not get all your data. You're compartmentalized. They don't want you knowing all the data is being sent. Okay? The globalists want to just set the precedent for all this. Belgium socialists get ready to okay child euthanasia. Children will be required to tell psychologists they understand what euthanasia is. So now the state's going to be able to convince your 5-year-old they want to die, and then they'll kill you. And they're going to make the culture ugly enough to where you're going to want to die. Monopolizing the internet, Comcast gobbles up Time Warner. Imperium in Imperio will govern your internet connection. There can be only one. Competition is a sin, said the robber baron John D. Rockefeller. His maxim, a rule of conduct for large corporations for well over 100 years, will soon govern how you receive your internet signal and how much you pay for it. That's right. In many areas of the country, you'll only have one internet provider. The old powerful Comcast, who censored us many times. Homeland Security to activate nationwide license plate data recognition database and are encouraging police and other citizen spies to take photos of license plates and feed them into Homeland Security's database. They had this up 20 years ago, folks. They're just letting the slaves know about it now. That's up on Infowars.com. I'm going to stop right there and go to your phone calls. Finish your point, sir. You were bringing up the resolution last week by Congress that was a huge number. I forget the vote. Guys, pull up congressional resolution supporting Ukrainian demonstrators. Again, my issue is the Soros group's running it to overthrow the country, to move missiles in against Russia, which is an act of war, which is getting involved in somebody's politics, and it's very, very dangerous. Go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, Alex, what this does is, you know, give them the opportunity, or give that nut Obama the opportunity, you know, to use thermonuclear war. When do Republicans and Democrats agree on anything? The NDAA. I mean, this is the kind of stuff where we have so-called bipartisan cooperation. We don't need that. Every time they do that, it's future destruction of a liberty or blowing up the world. The other thing, I want to comment on what you said about Iran, because take a look at the fact that in the United States we have different factions. Neocons have been beating the war drums for years on Iran. And I would assume the same thing goes on within the country of Iran. We have ships off their shores. Why is that okay? But if they say they're going to bring a ship off of our shores, everybody gets excited about it. You know, this may be just playing to their own domestic situation there in Iran.
Listen, I have really tried to stop an attack on Iran, and that's on record, and I want to be clear. Their chairman of their Joint Chiefs came out 2 weeks ago, and I didn't just believe the Israeli papers. I went and looked it up on the Farsi, on the Iranian, and I saw it in English-speaking press TV, and said, you know, they better not start something with us. We got sleeper cells inside their country. That's just inviting the globalists to stage stuff and then use that against Iran. And Iran has been putting out promo videos, blowing up Israel, attacking the U.S. interest. I'm saying the U.S. the globalists running the U.S. have been dealt a defeat overthrowing Iran's ally Syria, who's doing nothing, and really being positive and trying to have peace. I mean, they're good guys compared to Iran. I don't support a lot of what the mullahs do, and so my issue is they should be de-escalating stuff now that the sanctions are being taken off. Okay, why say they'll blow us up? Why put the videos out? Why say they'll attack the aircraft carriers? And all this rhetoric when the West is going into a conciliatory motion.
Well, you know, it's red meat for their population. The other thing that, you know...
But I don't even agree with that because most of their population likes the U.S. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think Netanyahu is as nuts as Obama. I think he wants destabilization throughout the entire Middle East. And we see it.
I don't think there's any question. I don't think there's any question that Netanyahu...
mop up all of these up, you know, these methods.
No, I hear you. I got to go. I appreciate your call. But what I'm trying to say here is I don't have any doubt that Netanyahu or his interest do want to destabilize the Middle East. And I think that's a bad policy to try to destabilize people so you're on top of them. And that's actually the U.S. policy, balkanization, breakup, destabilization. I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. Iran's got the same kind of policy Israel does. That's what I said last week about all this. And I agree. They all will use it domestically to try to crack down and take liberties.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.
I want to go back to your phone calls, but I've got some really amazing news that just came in that's going to tie in to Mark Moreno joining us in the next segment. Here it is. 1 in 4 Americans unaware that Earth circles sun. I bet money that Mark Dice could go out in L.A. and that 3 out of, I mean, and by the way, he doesn't edit that except for cutting out the spaces. He really shows you. You know, that 9 out of 10 say put gun owners in camps, kill them, put anyone who isn't a communist in a camp, kill them. I mean, this is the Democrats, the most mindless, dumbest people in America. And I'm just sorry, it's true. I bet in Austin, in a trendy area, 2 out of 4 won't know the Earth circles the sun. But you need to ask it like, we need to sign a petition because the Earth, due to global warming, is causing problems with the sun orbiting us. So we want you to sign a petition to have us stop global warming because it's changing the sun's orbit of the Earth. And if you ask it like that, I bet 3 out of 4. If you said, we need to sign a petition to regulate the sun orbiting the Earth for Obama, that's how the question would be asked. I bet 3 out of 4 trendies, if you did it in front of like Democratic Party headquarters, I'm not joking, would actually sign the thing. If you said, for Obama, we need to have taxes to help the sun orbit the Earth better, they will sign. The key is for Obama. For Obama, we're going to put all conservatives in slave labor camps, and we're going to kill them. And people in English go, good. You see, you want to kill them. They go, you don't have to tell me, buddy. I want to kill them. And they're like, nod. They go, So these are good people. These are the liberals. These are the open-minded people. But it shows some hope that only 1 out of 4 doesn't know the Earth orbits the sun. I mean, I thought Copernicus, had that figured out. Let's talk to Art in Nebraska. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
I'm doing all right.
Talk to you. I know I want to utilize my time quickly here. I just want to say that I've recently started waking up, and I've been using most of my free time to try and get educated. I just figured out like a week ago that 9/11 was an inside job. It's like, oh my God, that's not cool. It kind of pisses me off.
Oh no, we kind of got some bad people running things, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I'm just trying to get caught up on everything, and I'm the type of guy that is very vocal when I get going. And on something like, for example, one of the questions I had for you is, do you have any talking
tips, or where do I start or begin? There's so many things to talk about, like when I get on talk radio. I mean, what do I bring up? And then number two, what about me? I'm looking at all this stuff. I watch your program. Everything is on the internet. I mean, am I being stupid? What do I need to do there? And I also wanted to comment that, yeah, the New World Order, they're scared of guns, all right, pointed at them. That's the problem. The two holy grails, the way I see it, is them taking our guns and our internet so they can take our money.
And our privacy, so they can then game the whole political system against us. Well said. Let me try to give you my answer to your first question. It's a big deal. You can take any topic national or local talk radio is covering and cover the topic, give them your take on it, not lie to the screener, and then add to it that, well, yeah, I mean, Obama is becoming a dictator, but the problem is the very same offshore special interests that are tax exempt own the Republicans as well. So what do we do about monopoly capitalism, getting rid of our real capitalist system? You know, that's what you don't cover on conservative talk radio, is the other side of it. That's why we can't get Democrats to join us and get out of this paradigm, is because they see the hypocrisy of the Republicans. So the two hypocritical systems prop each other up because folks think that's the only choice. And, you know, that's an example. Or let's say they're talking about the city going bankrupt, and you call them saying, well, why do we double the cost to treat the water when, you know, they've done all this just so that we get bought out by foreign interests? We need to get the fluoride out of the water, blah, blah, blah. Any topic you can hijack. Now, as for the internet, I think it's good if you have the time and the energy to try to protect your identity from, because there's hackers, there's government people, there's data miners. Everybody should try to get basic, well-known, certified systems that protect your identity, protect your information, that have good histories of trying to protect their data. Big box stores, big banks, they're the worst. Government, it's the worst sieve. And then the worse things get, they want more of our data and more proof of who we are, which only makes it worse. So the answer is keep cash in the equation as well. Mediaite has come out with 13 romantic cable news Valentines to share with your loved ones. And I really like these because I guess I'm number 3. Rush Limbaugh's number 4. And it says, my dearest love, many nights do I stay awake thinking about your pleasant bosom and the globalist scum, the nerd police taking over everything. And then it's a spiral of insanity down into it. And I do like it when the Democrats and their websites come out with these type of hit pieces because it's fun to be included in those. It is good. It is good for some humor. By the way, we're going to play this clip later. You know, Nancy Pelosi says that marriage is not a good thing. Why would anybody want to get married? These people really do act like they're Beelzebub or something. Before I go to our illustrious guest, we have a new T-shirt in that is already becoming one of the best sellers ever. I think it should be the best seller ever, but it's Obama as the Joker that was that limited edition that was the best seller ever. So we've brought it back in another limited edition that's about to go out of stock, the Obama Tyrant shirt. But we now have 2 different Molon Labe come and take it. One in the Greek that says Molon Labe come and take it with a Greek war helmet, a Spartan helmet with 2 crossed M4s and victory wreath around it. I think it's the best looking Molon Labe shirt out there. It's a gray on black. And it's kind of a grayish gold on black. And then we've also got just an InfoWars with the Molon Labe symbol and the Molon Labe on the back. So they have images on the front and back. And it's all made in America, part of our Made in 1776 brand, madein1776.com. Go to madein1776.com, and you can find everything made in America, the ball caps, the golf shirts, all of it. And, yeah, it all cost about 30 to 50% more. We now have the 1776 worldwide bottle breacher, a 50 caliber shell with the bullet in it, with the powder taken out. And this is made by Navy SEALs. One of them isn't even retired yet. He gets out next year in Dallas. This is actually made by a group of Navy SEALs who are evil entrepreneurs. And I was talking to a guy I know that buys these, and they did a custom print for us that says made in 1776. Actually says 1776 worldwide on it. And so it actually, portions of it end up through the Navy SEALs going to real veterans groups. But you're hiring former Navy SEALs. Navy SEAL owns them. It's the Navy SEALs that work there. Navy people. It's not just Navy SEALs. That's run by Navy SEAls. And so they've made these custom bullets for us. They reached out to us. And it's a bottle breacher. And I've got mine at home. Everybody loves it. People come over for a barbecue or whatever. It is awesome and a great gift for friends and family in the military especially. So again, made by Navy SEALs for patriots everywhere. All of that is made in the USA at made-in-1776.com. The other apparel and stuff's made in Mexico, you name it. Nothing against that. It's just that, you want to pay a third less or half off. We just give you the choice right there. But everything at made-in-1776.com or on the 1776 section of InfoWarsStore.com. The brass belt buckles with George Washington on it. It's like showing a vampire the sun at high noon when they see this stuff. I mean, it's all right there at made-in-1776.com. Very inexpensive and affordable compared to other American-made clothes. You try to buy a golf shirt like this at Dillard's, it's like $80 to $100. And it's not made in America. This is made in America, $49.95. And I'll just be honest with you, they were correcting me the other day. It costs us 20-something bucks to print that shirt, to get that shirt. 20, that's a lot. I mean, I could buy a shirt like that from China for $6. But it lasts a lot longer. Everybody compliments it. InfoWarsStore.com. And then lastly, the Super Male Vitality. You've heard the rave reviews. We just took 8 of the best-known herbs, organic, concentrated them with Dr. Grip in his factory, his laboratory, put it out. We have the only nation iodine of this type, the Fluoride Shield, the Survival Shield, Super Male Vitality. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com. Again, that's InfoWarsLife.com. And your purchase of the products makes the transmission possible. You can also call toll-free 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. And for 2 weeks, we're running a special. It's been very popular, so I never go back on specials, but it may end up being backordered in about a week. We'll still have 15% out for 2 weeks, but it's about 2 weeks till we get more Super Male Vitality in because it's so popular. We've been waiting on an herb that finally got in from the Himalayas that's totally organic, so we can finally go to production, but I've been waiting months to get it. But the thing is, you need to order now if you want to get it immediately. And then believe me, you've heard the rave reviews. Just try our products, and I know you're going to like them. And if you don't, you've supported the broadcast, but I've heard no negative feedback. So 888-253-3139. And as always, I want to thank all of you for your support